chickens in the sun. Just sleep with Miss Mary, UK on the run. D-Box, we're leading strong and having fun. Together we're shining. Our journey's just begun.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Scenes. All right. Who do we have in the audience today?
I think we have a good, let's see, we have Amy losing it, travel with Josie Ann. We have Olivia Hart. Let's see. Who else do we have? We have a local reviewer. And then Cozy Vibes. Cozy Vibe wins the Early Bird Award.
All right.
Yeah. Which I don't know what the award is right now, so just celebrate.
We're celebrating. And Jade from Cozy Vibes, she left us a beautiful message. Does somebody want to read that one?
I'll read it.
I don't mind reading it then.
Okay.
She's wrote, much love to you, and remember, keep shining. And she sends that out to everybody. So Jade will be watching on the replay later. So I don't know if you want to send some hearts for Jade for that lovely message, folks.
Yes,
thank you, Jade.
Thank you, Jade. And she's one of our newest subscribers, and so thank you for your just support out the gate.
Yes, thank you so much.
And then we have Delilah.
Hey, Delilah.
She keeps us, she makes sure production's on point. And then we have It's Darium. Thank you, King Darium, for showing up. And then we have Losing It Grace.
Hello, Grace.
Hi, Grace. Hi, Dapper Darium.
So perfect. So we have a good crew.
Howdy.
Good early crew.
Okay, everyone, thank you once again for joining us today. I am your girl, Harjarene Annette, a.k.a. The Boss Way.
Perfect. And I'm JC Calamity Jane, live from Texas, along with Miss Harjarene there. And we'll toss it. Joe, do you want to, before we introduce number 4?
Yes. Hey, it's me, Joe from Just Sleep and Slim Down Journey. This is Miss Mary, of course. I'm off camera. I'm actually working back office today. I'm not very well, but I just wanted to say hello and dear blessings to our beautiful guest. So that's really why I'm here. But I'll leave Miss Mary on camera. She loves it.
And make sure to do hashtag cat if you want her to have some
treats.
Cat treats.
Oh, for sure. She's getting treats tonight, folks. So treat away. But yes, over to you, our gorgeous special guest.
Hi, everyone. Namaste from India. This is Himani from Stealth India. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be here for the first time with the BTS team. And I'm looking forward to the session today.
Yay!
So perfect. So do we have any announcements, Harjarene, before we jump in? No announcements. So so today we're going to talk, and this is probably, if there was a top 10 of things that any healthy journey, whether it's I want more activity, I want more, I'm going to do keto, I'm going to do carnivore, I want to do less X, Y, and Z, right? And definitely those of us who are on either GLP-1, GIP, semaglutide, or tirzepatide, one of the top 10 is going to always come down to, how do we look beyond the scale? How do we, in the journey of losing weight, getting more active, changing the types of foods we eat, all those things, adding hobbies to our life, etc. And then as we get closer and closer to whatever goal it is we set for ourselves, and then we start talking about this thing called maintenance. I tend to call it the rest of my life. I tend to term maintenance the rest of my life, because ideally, that's what I'm hoping for, right? There's this question of how do we look beyond the scale, and this can look different for everyone. So we want to join the conversation because it's happening, and I think it's been happening a lot in the last couple of weeks, especially as we get closer to the end of the year. Losing it, Grace. Where are we at? You're doing a countdown on how many days are left in the year, so you can keep us posted in the chat where we're at. But let's start with the very first question then. And so here we go. And we kind of do a round robin. So we'll do Harjarene, we'll do Himani. I'll go, and then Joe, you come in whenever you feel the spirit, okay? Everybody good on the order?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and always answer in the chat, and I'll make sure to drop it in the chat.
Okay.
What's one non-scale victory that made you feel truly free or joyful recently?
My resilience. And I say that because even on days where I feel a little heavy, I still keep getting up. So I'm going to say resilience.
That's good.
So for me, I think it's absolutely the fact that I am more active in terms of anything around day-to-day life. I am more active, and I think being homebound and bedridden for most of the last 3-4 years, that is amazing. Like, I actually want to get up, I want to do things, I want to step out, and that's really helped me and my confidence for sure.
All right. And y'all will always know what mine is or what mine's related to. Where'd it go? It's always going to be like my trending line on my blood sugar. It's like my this is recently and every day. Every time I look at my I'm trying to find so y'all can see it, every time I go and look at this, being in the high 90s or 100% on my, so this is, again, for those of you who are new, I'm a type 1 diabetic. And so what this shows here is your time in range. And what that stands for, the time in range stands for the percentage of time that you are between 70 and 180. Some people even change the top one to like 150. I'm not that bold yet, but so yeah, anytime I see that number above 90 or at 100%, now I don't put a gold star on my calendar. Maybe I should, but that's going to always be my number one non-scale victory, is where that number is.
Yes.
And we love that for you.
Yes.
Oh,
we
thank
really
you.
do.
Very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I know we've gotten a couple new people, but and Joe may want to jump in, but as y'all are coming into the chat, again, first, thank you for joining us. But today we're talking beyond the scale. So that can be non-scale victories or however you define what beyond the scale means to you. So, and that it could be beyond the mirror if you even wanted to. So, okay. So let's jump in. So question number 2 will be, how has your relationship with the scale changed since starting your health journey? How has your relationship with the scale changed since starting your health journey?
I set a timer every morning to get on my scale. Some mornings I'm a little later on it than I want to be. But when I gained all the weight back, I didn't want to get on the scale. I would just get on there every once in a while just to check it and see, hey, have I went back over my highest weight yet, but I didn't like the scale. Matter of fact, I moved it. I moved it out the way because instead of having it on my side, I moved it out of the way, but I went and bought a brand new scale, when I started on the journey. I bought a brand new scale. I got that Renfo. I saw that everybody was getting that. And I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get another scale, even though there was nothing wrong with my other scale. It did the same thing. But I get on it every day. And I told myself, hey, it's doing something different. But it was doing the same thing my other scale was doing. But it was just feeling good to get on the scale again and seeing it go down. So my relationship with the scale has it's good. It's good.
So for me, I like Harjarene, I bought a new scale when I started this journey. And that was mainly because I did a lot of research before starting this GLP-1 medication. And like when I started this weight loss journey. And I made sure that I, don't over obsess about it. And like our motto, every week will be different. Everybody who's been talking about it on YouTube tells us that, every week will be different. Female bodies are different. Don't compare. All of these I actually abide by, and that's actually helped me a lot to not obsess over it. Like, even if I have a gain, I don't mind that because I know I'm going to get back on track, and I know if I, where I faltered and how. And it's absolutely like I'm still in the progress of improving that relationship, but I'm happy with the progress so far. And it's definitely better in the last 3 months, and every month it is getting better. Like, I'm not daily weighing or obsessing and weighing every 2 3 hours, and it's okay if you're doing that. Like, it's up to you, it's your body, your choice, do whatever you want, it's your journey. But for me, I have been obsessing a little less about it since I've started, especially because of the community we have, because
Right.
Oh,
we
yes.
have so many talks around it, and it's really helped me.
Right.
Like, when we also discuss, it's really helped me. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I think definitely hearing other people's strategies on this one is tremendous. For me, as far as relationship, I think, and again, I've shared this before. I lost a significant amount of weight back from in 2012 to 2013, and at that time, it was with Weight Watchers at that time, right? So you had to do that, which I didn't mind going. I kind of use it as an accountability, having to go into a meeting and doing the weight and stuff. So I think some of the anxiety around this time is not present. But what I find most interesting is when I did not have a plan, I hated the scale. So whether it was Weight Watchers, whether it's being on Zepbound now, I did the exact thing. I hit it. Oh, well, you don't work. Let me go check the scale in my mother's room. It's kind of like, let me find a scale that but when I'm not on a plan, I don't like the scale. And when I'm on it, because there's so many other physical things that are happening, which we'll get to. It's just one tool. I do once a week, and then I do my Wednesday on my injection day, and then I do my where's my brain at? And then I do Saturday as my mid, like, do I need, did I have enough? I think Harjarene, you probably hear it the most. It's like I get to Saturday and it's like, yep, I didn't get my water intake Thursday and Friday, so this makes sense where I'm at. So yeah,
And water does make a difference.
it does.
We've had a lot of really lovely responses in the comments, starting from 25 minutes past. I think there's one, the first one that I see was Mariella's.
Okay,
While
yeah.
she's looking for that, I'm happy just to jump in and say about, with me, I've never really been interested in the scale. It's always been a data point. And we talk about that a lot. It's about a data point. Interestingly, I got really, really annoyed with the scale earlier or late last week. I used the word hate in there, but I think it was more about, it wasn't the scale that I was hating. It was the what was happening with my body just because I wasn't getting sleep. But now I'm getting, I'm getting the sleep. I'm on a fibromyalgia flare up, but Colin is here and is taking good care of me.
Good.
As is Miss Mary, she's just told us.
Oh, yes, Miss Mary. And remember, if you're in Joe's chat, to do #cat so that Miss Mary can have a treat. So just that reminder. And so Mariella, and Mariella was live yesterday. So if you didn't watch that, go check that out. She does a wonderful job, and so she does really good on her lives. Let's see, Cheryl. So welcome, Cheryl. So I noticed I did lose 3 pounds. So congratulations. Congratulations. Let's see.
Yes,
Any others?
Cheryl.
Yeah. And then we have, and thank you for those who are joining. I'm seeing Idiosyncratic Girl, Jen joined. She's walking her puppy. And then Grant, let's see. I'm all about technology. So I got a new scale back in January to track my phone daily and it has helped. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. And then, yes, we're sending all good vibes to Joe to get feel better. If I get my scale at least 5 times, that will magically make it. It will. It's actually 7 times.
I tried 5 times one day.
It's the
I
7th
tried
time,
5
baby.
times. It did not.
I will say, ever since I've been doing Harjarene's 32 ounces, like first thing in the morning, and then get on the scale. Try it. Get your water in if you're able to. If you're someone who has to manage your water intake, stick to that routine. So let's see. Any others from the chat? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. And again, if you do have questions for us, just do QQQ. And then we go. Okay, so cool. No questions. So let me get back to our questions. So we on question 3. So this is a fun one. So what milestone, scale related, unscale, it doesn't matter. But what milestone felt like a turning point? And it could even be pre-journey. So keep that in mind. What milestone felt like a turning point in reclaiming your confidence?
It wasn't until I tried on my clothes that I bought 3 years ago. That's when it changed for me. Because those clothes I bought, I had lost 96 pounds. And so I was able to wear those clothes.
Okay.
Versus when I gained it all back, I wasn't able to wear those clothes. Well, I didn't wear them anyway. I never got a chance to wear them. So, but my daughter, like I said, told y'all before, she had me modeling. She's like, Mom, go try those clothes in your closet. And she had me modeling them for her. And that's when I knew that I had lost the weight. So that was a turning point for me.
That's good.
Because looking in the mirror, sometimes you look and you're like, I haven't lost any weight. You know what I mean? But your clothes say differently. And those clothes told me differently. They told me that, hey, you've lost the weight. You've done the work. You're doing good. Keep it going.
Right. Which is another data point as we go back to what Grant kind of indicated. It's another, or Joe even said it too. What about you, Himani?
So for me, I travel a lot for work and otherwise. And it has been difficult, especially in airplanes when I have to, I used to get the belt extender. So that was my biggest in the first month itself, because I have PCOS. So I have a PCOS belly, which was inflamed because of the insulin resistance. And that inflammation went down a lot in the first month itself. Now, you can call it water weight, you can call it whatever, but then I did not need the belt extender. And that was very, it used to be embarrassing a little bit for me to be the only one in the flight, or sometimes, actually being the only one in the flight to ask for a belt extender. And it just made me so happy that, I could fit the belt and fit it in the normal belt and the normal standards that are there in the aeroplane. And by taking flights has been better. Walking around has been better. Exploring the city, like my husband is into trekking and hiking, and I used to avoid anything that is physical. Like right now, I'm aiming for Italy and Europe, and I know we have to walk a lot, and I'm actually looking forward to it now because I know I can. Yesterday, in fact, I had a family trip. I walked around through 3 kilometers, but then that for me personally is a big win because I am not a walker. I never used to, and I'm not inflamed anymore. Like that is the biggest thing I've felt since I started.
And Himani, can you share with the chat where you were at, where you walked around?
Yeah, so it was a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and also the Tropic of Cancer. Like it's the line that divides the northern hemisphere. We have these Tropic of Cancer, then we have the equator, and then the Tropic of Capricorn. So the Tropic of Cancer goes through India. That is like the central line for us. So it was a really nice moment. I am into history and geography and all of these things, and archaeological sites. So that was a really fun thing to do with the family. It was really nice.
Good.
Yeah.
And then for me on this one, I think it was the first. Well, it was the first week that I woke up before my alarm clock, well before my alarm clock, got on my exercise clothes, and worked out consistently for 5 days. Because it was such a struggle. Like the week prior, no matter how I put when I was going to work out in my calendar, I put my clothes out, I put my shoes out, I did all the things you're supposed to do to minimize, what do they call it, minimize obstacles to a habit that you want to start, and it still wasn't happening. But yeah, that first full week that I wanted to exercise, I wanted to work out, and it was different each day, which is fair, but that was really significant for me. So that was a big milestone for me. And then yeah, Wonderland would be a turning point, and then there's a couple in there. Let's see.
I love the fact that a lot of people's responses relate to clothes and how
Yes.
it's improving their confidence, and that's so there's so much more that feeling can do for you than what's happening on the scale.
Can. And it's choice, right? And we can talk about it now too if we want. There was a question for it later if we want to talk about clothes now, but I think the reality is just the choice you get. I will say they've gotten better as far as more fashionable items in the larger sizes and things of that nature. But what's the cost associated with that? And so I think the idea that you can go into the store and not have to search and search. One, is my size even there? And then will they have things that I like? So it can definitely make you feel good. And I love the no more belt extender. That's a game changer. That's a big game changer. And then I think Brenda, yep, perfect. When I deviated from my plan for the first time since taking GLP, yep, that was a turning point. In the past, one deviation of sleep. Yep, that is true. And we're gonna have those moments. The beauty of reality is that we're human, but we all get a chance. Every morning you wake up, you get a new start.
Right.
Can I just step in as well? I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's only because I can see the gorgeous Brenda. If you guys don't know, Brenda has just started her own YouTube channel. She's posted her first video. So if you've not already done so, make sure you drop your channel link in one of the in the chats, Brenda. We can all subscribe.
Yes, and she is getting content out, and it is transparent. And it is what I would say with Brenda is you're going to get transparency. You're going to get, pull up a chair is what I'll say when you hear her, and use it as a time for reflection on what her journey is and what your journey may be. So yeah, she's getting out really good content. And so Raquel, the next one, this is fun. This one's fun. I like it. On Raquel's.
I'm looking.
It's right under Brenda or a couple. Yep, here we go. I love this. Let's see. That's how running for the best. Me running 10 months ago would have gas and would have hit my face. I think that's perfect. And especially when you realize it mid-run, right? it's like what is happening to my body? Let's see. Wow, and then New England Cajun Roots reseller. I've got to check out this person's channel. I bet there's some fun stuff on their channel.
Wow,
Let's see.
29 pounds from changing what I eat.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Oh, New England, make sure you did your whichever chat you're in, you shared your link so people can follow you. I think we can learn a lot from you. Yeah, the leg cross is fun. Leg crossing, sitting, cross-legged, all those things are fun. Let's see. Then Amy losing it, cannot wait to have a smaller, lighter clothes to carry, especially your swimsuit. Yes. Delilah, what's human? You're all super. I said then that means we're all superhuman, right? Collarbone.
Oh. I went into Domino's Pizza.
Yeah, that's okay.
Popped up on my thing.
I heard there's like a really good pizza combo at Domino's. I haven't tried it yet though. I need to check it out. Okay, let's go. Let's keep moving forward. So we kind of did the clothing moment one. So let's talk about I'm going to skip around. Okay, only because I want to answer this and Amy kind of took us there. So
Okay.
so let's do this one. What trip, event, or activity did you finally say yes to after years of hesitation? And so let me drop this into the chat as well.
Okay. I started running again.
Yes, you did.
I felt like, I got too heavy to do it. And I started dedicating my Saturdays to running around the track.
Right.
Actually, I started when I think Twan had did a challenge. And
yes.
And that's when I started, and I kept going on from there. But yes, so I thought I got too big to run. I would be out of breath and wouldn't get far. So when she did that challenge, I decided to keep challenging myself and keep going.
Nice.
For me, I have been dancing throughout my life, like the Indian classical dance and also like Bollywood, different styles of dancing basically. And I really enjoy dancing. And I wasn't able to do that, not for more than 5 to 10 minutes before, catching my breath. And now, I was asking JC the other day that, let's do some Zumba challenge or maybe, for November. And like, because I have been doing that personally since the last month, like 1 month, and I'm dancing and I'm enjoying it because that is my like dopamine, dose, and it's amazing to be able to dance again. Yeah, that really like puts me in touch with my body again. Like I absolutely love how I'm feeling light on my feet, and it's so much better.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect. And then I haven't done it yet, but why I really enjoyed this question. This is for all my cruise people. So all my cruise folks in the room, or if you enjoy cruises. So you get your cruise, whether you do your excursions through the cruise line or you do a third party. Usually you'll go down somewhere. You're looking at the excursions, and somewhere towards the bottom it says restrictions or limitations. And there's a weight requirement for things. Like, for example, we did Alaska, and even though I have mixed feelings about this because I don't want the glaciers to melt, so I kind of have mixed feelings about this particular excursion for Alaska. But whether you basically can take a helicopter, land on a glacier, and then walk around. It's not eco-friendly, so I have issues with it, but I like the idea of it. But there's a weight restriction. I think it's like 250. And whoever my Alaska people cruise, like, y'all can correct me on that. But yeah, there's a lot of weight restrictions on those excursions, or even some of the ones where you go into the caverns, the underwater caverns and stuff like that. There's restrictions on those things. And so I'm looking forward to that reality of not being stopped because someone says there's a limitation. So that would be mine.
Okay.
Yes, Delilah, it counts if you've been on a cruise. You don't have to be a cruise head for that. So yeah. Yep, getting into a swimming pool or snorkeling. Yeah, so it's nice to not have someone tell you can't do something, right? It's always a good feeling. And then let's go, let's see. Let's do this one here. And this is definitely, I want to hear from everyone in the chat for this one, because this is going to be good for everybody in here. So how do you track progress now outside of weight? What signs do you look for?
Maybe moving more. Not being tired, wanting to get into bed and sleep all the time. So I'm going to say that moving more.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving more for me, like cooking more for myself and my family, and just being more active is what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's, like I said, mine would be the labs I get, I think, I see either my endo or my primary care every 3 months. I know some people who also have a weight management person, they may even see a physician even, more than that every I think for those of us who have to do check-ins with our insurance companies, because that's what is allowing you to be on the weight management program. So the labs are sort of I wouldn't call them my everything, but if there is something that weighs heavily on me, kind of like how some have that heavy weight on them with the scale, if there's a number or a data point that weighs heavily on me, it's probably my labs. Because oftentimes, I think oftentimes you go in thinking it's like I've crushed, all of my labs are going to be in the green, right? Or they're going to be in whatever is normal for me. And then you get one number, whether it's high or low, abnormal. You just see that abnormal, and it's like, what's wrong? Why didn't anyone tell me? What am I doing? That if there's something that causes me a freak out, it's that. So I still tend to use my labs as probably my biggest tracker of progress on this journey, because it dictates whether there's certain medicines. I'm going to always be on insulin until there's something else to replace it. But some of the other medicine that I'm taking, it will let me know if I need to change anything up. So, Joe, did you want to jump in on that one, or I don't know if you're in a
I wanted to say the things that I'm tracking as well are like the clothes and like the ability to sing. I love singing,
Right.
whether I can or I'm not or I can't. The point is I love it when I'm able to. And I did a live, was it on Saturday? And again, I was aware that I couldn't sing again. I'm thinking I'm not well because I'm not able to sing. But it would be, because then that was going to take me on to a question for you guys. I'm not sure if I'm remembering the way I wanted to put it out there. You know what I'm like with my brain fog. But I wanted to say, at what point are you going to let that tracking be still part of the maintenance, but also how you're going to use that tracking as your data point to know that I need to step in and do something again? I'm not sure if that made sense. But the things that we're doing to track our progress, are we going to be using that as part of maintenance as well? And how will we know when we need to make a change because, for example, you're not able to sing again?
Right.
So that's a question for all three of you and the audience.
Yeah. So I tend to use, especially, well, I think I shared in a video a week ago or so or back, where my blood sugar was elevated for longer than 24 hours, right? And so my immediate brain was like, did all my medicine, did I take, did I get all the dose of the medicine right? Then it was, okay, what did I eat? It's like, oh, is this my sign or indicator that I need to titrate? It's like, why is my blood, and I only went to that because when I first got on the medicine, in less than 4 hours, there was immediate impact to how it was impacting my blood glucose levels, right? I had to figure out how to take less insulin so that I wasn't going too low or having a low blood glucose, hypoglemic episode. So anytime it stays elevated for an extended, and what extended for me is greater than 12 hours, definitely greater than 24 hours. If it stays in those elevated ranges, like above 180 and it won't come down, my immediate thought process is, okay, what's the check-in I need to do, right? It's something reversing that wasn't that wasn't working like it was supposed to. So yeah. So how about Himani or Harjarene? Is there, when something kind of returns, is that a check for y'all to kind of see what's happening?
With my chronic kidney disease,
Mm-hmm.
1 month when I go, where she does it every 3 months, it may be okay. The next 3 months it may not be okay. So me toggling with that, This last time I did it, my numbers were up, which is good. Finally going to get to see a kidney specialist this month, coming up month, so that I can get more information about it. So my chronic kidney disease has me imbalanced.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, I was pre-diabetic at the pre-diabetic level when I started. It has become a little better. The levels are a bit under control, but my PCOS, because it is the insulin resistant type,
Right.
again, you can't reverse this like diabetes. You can just get it under control. So I'm still working on it. There are days when I feel, I'm sweating more than usual, and my insulin spike is more, and inflammation is more. But overall, in the last 3 months, it's better. Uh, uh, every month is better.
Right. Yeah, and then Kim J at 4:50 p.m. Central Time. Yes, I plan to continue strength training and cardio after May. Yeah, you definitely want to. And what's her number? What is it? I don't know if Callie or Coach is in the chat, but some of my muscle people, even if I was about to, I was not the right phrase. My sister would kill me with my grammar some days. Even if we were not on GLPs and there was this reduction of muscle, there tends to be, I believe it's 10%. My Googlers out there, correct me on the percentage. At each decade, there's a loss in muscle. So strength training, even if you're not on a GLP-1, is so important as we age. And I think there was a recent and I should say recently, because I feel like every month, if not every week, there's an article about the importance of strength training with as you get older. Walking and strength training. If you stick to those two things, you're set for life.
Yeah.
So
that's why we see so many older people walking all the time, and I get so happy to see it, that they're always walking.
Right. Exactly. And it's just good for cognitive health. That's my
Mhm.
biggest, if I haven't said it before. Oh, there's Carnivore. Carnivore can tell us the percentage of weight loss when it, like, at each decade that humans, if there's not strength training involved. But yeah, in the strength training and walking, both the impact on cognitive health. And that's one thing I don't know that we've talked about. We can maybe make it a topic one day, but this just the importance of cognitive health as we age is so important. Miss Linda. Miss Linda's gonna tell us exactly what's going on. Let's see, I track by my appetite, grocery shopping, labs, clothes, rheumatologist appointments. I love a good rheumatologist. They're amazing. That's amazing in medical practice there. Compliments from family, friends, and mirrors added to my home since Zepbound. Perfect. I love that. All the things, right? Okay. Oh, thank you, Carnivore. Okay. So 1% metabolic rate drop per year after 30. No data on muscle loss. Okay. Thank you, Carnivore, for the correction. Thank you for that.
Interesting.
So appreciate that so much. Okay, so let me get the next question, and again, if y'all want to, definitely feel free to add your questions for us or even other people in the chat. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about us real quick, because some of y'all have implied this already. What role has community played in helping you honor these non-scale victories? What has the role of community played in honoring non-scale victories?
They are my accountability partners. Everybody is.
Yep.
Because without this community, I would say I probably would be going a little bit slower at everything. Be doubting myself, all of that good stuff. But in this community, because so many people are doing their thing, they're doing their own thing, and they're doing great. And we know we're everybody's accountability partners out here. So having that is everything. Having that is everything. So it helps me greatly.
Right.
So everyone's my accountability partner, whether they ask for it or not.
Tag, you're it.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think for me especially, in India, the medication was launched in March this year, and it was in the market by June, July. Like I started in July, and there are not many people talking about it in India, and like in person or otherwise, online also, like not offline, not online. People are reluctant to even talk about any of these weight loss medications, basically, and it's a big stigma, and people, that's why I have the mask on, right? But this community is so welcoming. Like
Mhm.
Joe was the first one to, like, engage on my channel. I started talking about my journey to keep myself accountable first, and also to connect with people like you, because it has been wonderful. And the challenges, like Tuan's, the physical activity levels, I like respect her for that. She keeps us, at least she keeps me in my head. I want to achieve, every day want to get better, because that is the area I struggle with. Movement is something I struggle with. I would want to, even if I have a bigger body, that does not mean I should not move. And, I shouldn't, I'm my own limitation. And this community has really helped me in, keeping me accountable that way. Like Mrs. Linda does the fasting, liquid fasting,
Mhm.
and all the yummy recipes that she, puts out. And then we talk about, like, within the four of us, we talk about OMAD and intermittent. And there are so many things to this uh, whole wellness journey. It is so much more than the weight loss every week or any other non-scale victory. Also, it is this community has been amazing for me. Like I feel
Mhm.
like I found my people finally, who actually can relate to what I'm trying to say. And it is
She'll make me cry.
obesity.
She'll make me
No,
cry, money.
no, seriously,
Because
like
it is. I felt that. Everything you just said, I felt that.
no, I thank God so much every day. Like I'm also teary right now. I'm so sorry, but it's just beautiful. The relationships I'm building with people here, and they're actually motivating me to voice myself, be out there. I'm connecting with people from my own country who are not, like, they're not content creators, but like I told you, we have like 10 women in India, like, who are a part of my encouragement group, and they actually speak to me as if I am the torch bearer of it all. And it is just amazing, because I am getting all the knowledge from this community, which is on YouTube. Like, this has been everything to me. I couldn't thank God and Eli Lilly enough to, get us this give us this opportunity. I'm
Yes.
absolutely blessed. Like, I thank God every day.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything y'all said, the community, and I think it's even less about. There's sometimes that it's not even. It may not be what the main topic is in during a day, but something that someone shares, something that,
Mhm.
and I'll see people in the chat, a cookie shares, and Amy shares, a barrel flower shares, that just, it resonates with you, right?
Mhm.
King Darium could be just responding to someone, but yet it's like, ooh, let me write. I'm going to take that note down, right, for later. It's a lot of that, but then it's also the extension of being on YouTube, right? Through Joe's channel, and then Foodies Vacations, and some of the relationships, getting connected to some of the gardening community and some of the chicken community. It where it might have been this reality of, this is why I showed up, as more than just a casual observer, if you will, on YouTube, or just to fix. We had to fix the we had to put in a new infotainment center into the truck, and so usually YouTube was just, how do I DIY something, right? But this engagement in the chat, what it's done beyond just even the GLP-1 community, it's made me accountable for things in other areas. I cleaned out my garden after months of saying we need to start over and get it ready for the fall. I'm getting to showcase the chickens and learning from others more about, chicken health and chicken care and the types of chickens. And so it it helps. What started as an accountability in one space is now allowing accountability in other. Like when you go to the cruise community, you know what? I'm booking something in 2026. I'm booking something in 2027. I'm going to live life. I'm going to enjoy life. So yeah, it's become more expansive than just this but I would say accountability is at the top of it, regardless of the area of life that it might be, that accountability may be in. So that's really good.
Yeah,
I would
JC,
like
like,
to.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, Joe, go ahead.
I was just going to say I would like to, but no, you were going to respond to Jen, so I'll go after you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, I'm definitely dressing up more because I have to put, videos out. I'm looking forward to, like, I was in my PJs or night gowns throughout the last 2, 3 years, most of the days at home because I work from home as well. And, you don't have to put up a face. It is actually, making me dress up more and showing up more for
Mhm.
myself. And also, it's making me go outside my head. Like, I'm not in my head all the time. I'm not overthinking things all the time. There are certain things that, keep you occupied because I have so much to look forward to and so much to talk about and so much to share and listen. Like, I join other people's lives, I'm seeing others' journeys. It's actually keeping me out of my head. Like, I'm not overthinking and dressing up more for sure.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
I wanted to say as well that I think the community for me the community has been everything because of course I've been housebound for 5 years, and then when I was made redundant in November, um, you know, I've got my friends, but my friends were WhatsApp friends, and I didn't want to keep telling them how unwell I was. And you want to give them something new to tell them. And I think that's been the beauty of this community is that you remind. So, like at the moment, I'm in the middle of a flare up because of the second time I've been out of the house. Second time celebrating some event that I've been at with friends. But the second time of the being out the house isn't the second NSV. I think I've had over 2,000 NSVs because you guys have kept me, reminded me that every little thing that you've seen me do in this house and every wonderful thing that is happening before I do get out and see my friends is part of an NSV. So yeah, I think as well it's not only the encouragement but the reminders of Joe, you weren't able to do that last week. Now look at you could do that. So I think that's been huge for me. And I keep talking about the community as a bouncy castle. You get down. There's been, the Loretta earlier on. She put on that thing about the scales, and I was so angry that I'd put 4.5 pound on because I'd not been sleeping. She was like, Jay, you just remember this, and it's like, yes, you guys remember to get back our mindset, exactly what Himani was saying, to get our minds back on the real prize and the bigger picture. And it's just so wonderful. And again, it comes from all the communities. I now I've been having love shared with Cindy DeManch and George Good Enough for You in the keto and the carnivore communities. And I see some of those as well in the chat today. So it's brilliant to be able to cross-pollinate those communities because we've all got so many wonderful things in common, as well as sharing our lives. We're learning from each other, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And you know what? My daughter would say, Mom, where you want to go? Where you want to go? I'm like, I don't want to go nowhere. But now I want to go. I want to go travel and meet everybody that I can meet. I want to do all of that. So that's because of this community.
Right. And we've had a lot of friends come in. So I want to do a quick rundown, shout out of who I see: Traveling T, Cookie, the Mel B, She is Tamika, and then of course Amy, and then really Raquel has come in. And then let's see, let me scroll up. And then, Kim J's been in there for a while, but I don't think I got to say her name. And then let's see, let me make sure. Mariella 360, I think I said hers earlier. Just want to make sure I got everybody that I saw. Bellflower, of course, Miss Laugh a Lot. And so I hope I'm saying Laugh a Lot. I'm reading it how I think it should be said, Miss Laugh a Lot. I like that. And then
and remember, we have got a lot of great people in the in the chat, just as Jen was saying,
Yes.
who are content creators. So
Yes.
for all the content creators, if you could share your link, do the hashtags, jump across onto the other live so you can share the hashtags to everyone in there. And as you say, there's some fantastic content creators in the chat today, and it's lovely to see what they're doing on their channels as well.
Right. And then Life with Tasharia also, and then there's and then Fairbrick Studio, and there are some when I say like supporters out there, Fairbrick Studio is a that's somebody that will run your playlist. That's all I'm saying. So, if you're trying to connect and grow, get with some folks. Because remember, the subscriber thing is lower now. It's at 500. So I don't know how many of y'all woke up to seeing that you're closer to you may be closer to your goal than you thought you were in the last few days. So let's see. Great question. I have community outside. I have community outside of this. It's authentic love. We hold one another accountable. And that's number one. Like who's around you in the YouTube life, and who's around you in what we call the real life too. And then Vanessa Grace also joined us as well. And then Delilah, do you see that there, Harji?
Yes.
Yeah. And we've been fighting the good fight for many years, and this time we finally we got it right, and we're not going back. I would agree. Accountability, but also encouragement and feeling of friends. I love all of this. So yeah, so let me put the next question as we're reading that. So this is this one's specific to those that with sleep apnea, but definitely apply it to any condition of especially if you're using medicine or using a some sort of equipment to help. But this question is going to be, let me put it in the chat and then I'll read it. How did it feel to see reduced reliance on devices like a CPAP, and maybe not so much reliance, but even just the changing of your settings and things like that?
With my CPAP, like I said in the beginning, I was on 8, and it changed. I didn't even realize it till a little while ago, but I don't know how long it's been on 4, but it's changed, which means that I'm improving for it to go down to a 4. So yeah, my CPAP settings have changed to a 4. They've changed from 8 to 4.
That is brilliant. My CPAP settings, my CPAP settings are still 22.
Okay.
But then, as we could see from last week, I need my CPAP machine. I'm clearly in need of the sleep and the goodness that it's doing. Just the amount of inflammation, 4.5 pounds of inflammation from not sleeping properly for 3 days, is just, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah,
and then now, of course, I'm not going to get on the scales now until the end of the week, because I just don't want to see how we could see already in my face how much information I've got. But
I'm looking at your fingers, Joe. I'm looking at your fingers.
Yeah, my fingers are thing. You can see them, aren't they? Can you? But one of the great thing about the GLP-1, I know Carnivore Muscle was saying as well, that it's been wrongly vilified. It's doing so many good things for the body, and one of the things it's helping me with is that I'm not having 10-day flare-ups anymore. My flare-ups don't last for 10 days anymore, and so I'm hoping that I'm going to be well again very soon. This is day 2. Is it day 2 or day 3? I can't remember.
Day 3, I think.
But yeah, I don't expect to have a 10-day flare-up like I normally have.
That's good.
But that part of that question was in relation to A1Cs as well. So
It did. I took that one out only because I had talked about it before, but yeah, if there any condition, even Himani, if there's things, whether it's seen A1C numbers, and so, but so the question, essentially the question is, regardless of the disease or comorbidity, how has the impact of seeing less reliance either on a machine, device, medicine, or seeing something like an A1C number go down? Your labs get better. That's essentially the question.
For sure. They have been better. Like I get my labs done every 3 months. So I've only done it once since I started this journey. And they've been better. I had like very high cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and that has also reduced. and yeah, it's getting better, I would say. Every like in the last 3 months it has gotten better. I'm due for my next set of labs in November, so let's see, fingers crossed. I do feel better, so yeah, I am sure it will be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And same. I get I think my next with my primary is November 11th, so we'll see what happens. So
Okay.
yeah. So perfect. Okay. So let's do another. I like this one. This is a good moment for this question here. This is a good discussion question. Okay. So I'm going to put it in, and I realize when I say I'm going to put it in the chat that it's only in my chat, but I know Joe is putting it in others, so I'm not too worried. So I'll repeat this question a few times. What advice would you give someone who's discouraged by the scale, but making real progress elsewhere? So let me repeat that. I feel like I'm doing an interview when we repeat the questions, but that's fun. I'm doing a job interview. We always do the question the second time. I won't tell people the trick to job interviews. But if they let you repeat the question, or they let you ask the question to repeat it, always have them repeat the question, even if you don't need it. Gives your brain time to think about it. Anyway, what advice would you give someone who's discouraged by the scale, but making real progress elsewhere? So what advice would you give?
I would tell them to keep going every day anyway. Keep going every day anyway, because especially if you're seeing results from everything else, don't worry about the scale, because really, inside out is what you want when it comes down to that change. Inside out, inside for everything. Is where you want it to begin, and for it to pour on the outside so everybody else can see it. So I would say keep going anyway, every day, even on the hard days.
Right.
Yeah. So I just first remind them that every day, every week will be different. Like women's bodies, men's bodies are different. And, when we are in our different cycles of the month, it will be different. And I remind them it's not a magic wand, it's a tool.
Right.
You have to make lifestyle changes. And if you are doing a few things right, that's a win. Even a 0.1 loss is a win on the scale. And if it's not, even if it's a gain, just go back to your week. I believe in logging in everything. I measure everything. If you're doing that and then seeing there are certain, discrepancies in the last week, the good week that you had, according to you, we are not medical professionals. I can't tell you that, what went wrong. If you had an allergy, if you had a cold, if you had a flu, that will obviously contribute to the progress you've had so far in the week. So I just like to remind them that just go back over your week, figure out what you did different, what did you not do as a certain routine or discipline thing that you do every week, and then let's figure out a way to solve this. And also obviously talk to your doctor if required, that if you're facing a lot of side effects like constipation, or or any of the side effects that can contribute to the halt or the stall, just discuss it with your. And it's so important to have a good doctor, I feel, that in this journey. And yeah, and we can obviously support and go over things together, but it's your body. You have to go back to your journey and figure out, okay, this is, maybe I had more calories, maybe I had more carbs, what, maybe I had dairy and which does not suit me anymore. We don't know that, right? We'll have to go back to our own log and see. And I think it's very important to do that. When you are on this journey, you should go over every aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's always, that's kind of what I'm going back to, is give the advice of and I think I shared it even in Dee Dee's chat the other day. It's like, I'm gonna always, if you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, you've
Yeah.
lost whether or not the scale has said it or not.
Right.
You've lost.
Right.
And then I do the reflection, and I only do the reflection because that's that's, again, it's a data point to tell me, to have me reflect on the week. Like if I do my little checklist, well, I could talk about last week. I know I did not get as much activity last week. So who knows what the scale is going to say come Wednesday? You know, I know it didn't happen. The weeks that I don't get all my water intake and things like that. So for me, it's like any day. Like if I were to go get my labs and all of a sudden my doctor says, well, this is kind of funny. Your A1C is actually going up in the last 3 months. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But then, the beauty of my insulin pump is I enter the carbs that I'm intaking, right? So, and maybe that's why the machine does, because I have this insulin pump on my body, I can sit there all day long and be like, what? My A1C is what? That's so surprising. How did it get that way? I can say that all day long. And then I go, and then he brings out the reports. It's like, well, let's look at the amount of carbs you've been entering and the fact that, and how many missed boluses. And so missed boluses is when the machine reads that there's been a carb load and you didn't take any insulin for it, right?
Yeah.
So being attached to these devices can sometimes be not your friend, right?
Yeah.
So it's a reflection point, if anything. And I think, my hope is that as it is, and because, okay, so this thought came to me a few lives ago. I'm not ours, but someone else's. I'm going to say it. Y'all can put things in the comments. Imagine if we use some of these data points that we call non-scale victories on our way up. If we had used these as data points. So like the clothes. And the clothes aren't fitting like they're supposed to be. When all of a sudden, like, oh, why am I not taking those steps as well as I did a year ago? What's going on here? So at the end of the day, there's data out there. So we just have to decide how we want it to impact the decisions that we make moving forward. Especially because we're all going to go to maintenance, which is, our lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we got to start using, these non-scale victories. I think, Joe, this is maybe what you were pointing to in your last response. How do these non-scale victories play a role in maintenance as data points? So.
Can I add one point on top of for the question?
Yes, please.
For many of us, we have been emotional eaters. We eat our emotions, we celebrate, we commiserate, we punish ourselves. If we're having a response to something and we don't know how to manage that response, we respond with food of some kind. And we're working really hard. We are working really hard to get over that. I think we have to work equally as hard to get over the emotion that comes with the scale.
Yep.
Because as you say, I've just seen Kim put it on there. Darium earlier on put another great point on there. But Kim's put it's counterproductive. If you're letting the scales make you emotional, the emotion brings on the stress, the cortisol, and then you've got less chance of losing weight. And then, as you say, then you've got even more to do to stop yourself from emotional eating. So I think if we know what we know, we know in this community, not everyone is an emotional eater, but many of us are. And we know we're doing all we can to overcome that as we're learning these new lessons on how to eat better and live our lives more healthy. And I think that should also come with things like the scales as well.
All right. And I like that you brought that up, Joe. Let me, I'm going to put it in the chat, the word and then the definition. I'm not going to go too far deep in this because, again, I'm not a doctor, but it's something I've used when I've done therapy. And then there's also some good commentary in the chat that we may want to cover as we begin to wind down. But so cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's a part of sort of, again, cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT. It's a type of talking therapy that helps people change negative thought and behavior patterns to improve feelings and action. And so it points to a type of therapy that Himani and Harjarene and myself and Joe, that you've just sort of said, it's like, what's the real story? If I get on a scale and it tells me something, up, down, flat, that's all. It's literally just a number. And if you just talk yourself and reflect on, okay, what is this telling me? And walk yourself through it, it doesn't have a hold on you, because at the end of the day, you're putting yourself in that control. If I got into a frenzy every time my blood sugar got to 256, well, guess what it's going to do next? Go to 297. So when I'm in that state of like, okay, my blood sugar is 256. Okay, what is true about this moment? Okay, I need to get some water. I need to take some additional insulin. And then I need to wait. Where's my Kim J? I need to do 15-15. Wait 15 minutes and see where I'm at. That's all I need to do in that moment. I don't need to change my whole life as a result of a single number and get on every pill in the world or change my whole regime or throw all the food in my fridge away. It's one moment, one number. What do I need to do in this moment? So, but yeah, it's a, again, feel free. The language is up there, but definitely take a look at it. And then she is Tamika. She is one of our, we need our maintenance queens and kings to be on this. We needed that maybe one day we needed to get like 10 people up here. Our maintenance maintenance court,
Yeah.
our squad. Yeah, the scale is only one factor, I believe. Ladies want fat loss. Oh, let's see. But yeah, that's a good.
You want me to go back up?
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. If everybody read it, and then don't stress out because it's counterproductive. We got this. And then, but there was a couple of other comments I want to. Let's see. Keep going because scale isn't moving. Doesn't mean that you're not making progress. And then Grace had a comment. I don't know that I'm going to find it. I felt like she had a comment
at the top.
earlier.
There was a great one by Darian at 15
In there,
minutes.
at 15.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yep. 5:15. Harjarene.
Not the celebration yet.
It's, let's see,
higher.
a little bit higher. It's in quotes.
There it is.
Yeah, if you're on a weight loss journey and scale doesn't budge, it does suck, but just know that it's a blip in time. Doesn't define your whole story. Yep. There are other wins, or to remind your body is working hard. Yep. I 100% agree.
And like Himani was saying earlier, y'all, I've found the sparkling water. My granddaughter has sparkling ice. I don't know if y'all tried that or not, but it's called sparkling ice. I gotta leave it alone because I think that's what brought on me wanting something sweet this weekend. It was a battle. I mean, I stopped at QT and got me a Snicker bar.
Wow. And those are the ones in those tall bottles, right?
Yeah,
and they have different
yeah.
Yep.
Don't get it.
Yep.
Because it made me want something sweet. And it's water, true enough, but it's a good water.
Right.
I'll stick to this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a
Yes,
really
I also
good.
realized that having aerated drinks, like I used to have a lot of Coke Zero, Pepsi Black, and Sprite Zero, and all of these zero sugar drinks before I started. And recently I went to the movies and I thought, okay, maybe I'll just have a can of that instead of anything else. That bloated me so much the next day, and the whole week I was just not comfortable with myself. And I realized, okay, no, I'm not going back to that ever again. Never.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, we just have to make those trade-offs. But let's look, because let's see, let's maybe get a few more questions in here. This is okay. This one's fun. This is always a good conversation to have. It's probably good to have yearly on some topics, every 5 years on others. I'll put it in the chat and then I'll read it. What's one boundary you've set or honored that reflects your growth and self-respect? What's one boundary you've set or honored that reflects your growth and self-respect?
One boundary that I've set is that just because you're over having you a drink of alcoholic drink, doesn't mean that I have to have one.
Right.
Just because you're over there eating Halloween candy doesn't mean that I have to have Halloween candy.
Right.
So that's one boundary I've told myself. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean that I have to do it and that I'm going to do it. And it's okay to say no.
Right.
I don't have to be, doing that.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, I stay with my husband. Like we are two people in the house. So obviously, I usually cook for the both of us. I used to cook the same meals, the same food. And now that I'm prioritizing protein, in fact, I love this fact that even if he's not on this medication, he is on this wellness journey with me. Uh, if he has to eat something like a pizza or something that he's craving, he has a sweet tooth, and he does it at his office hours or in the office, or he does not pull me back. And what I do at home is I make sure that I prep the like oats and all of these breakfasts, high protein breakfasts for us. I batch prepare them for both of us, so that way he's satiated. I'm also taking care of both of us for the high protein and the macros and the fiber. In early in the morning, he's the one who gives me my chia seed water to get me going. And I set that boundary from day one. I told him that maybe I wasn't this version when you met me. I am a foodie. I still love food, but I'll have to make these changes, and you'll have to help me. And even if you don't help, and if I'm having something like he prefers vegetarian food, and I do cook that every day, and but I make sure that I have some protein, if because veg food sometimes is not enough, and I make sure that I'm cooking for myself. And I think that is the biggest I think self love thing for me, because for me to even have a separate meal or a different kind of lifestyle within the two of us. And even when people like my in-laws and my family, like my right now my parents are here, all the meals are being cooked, like 3 meals, 4 meals, whatever they want to have. I have my own thing going. I'm enjoying with them. I'm sitting at the same table, but I'm having my own meal, high protein, whatever macros that I'm focusing on. So,
Good.
and they also, I think, respect that fact that I'm being disciplined. Like my father is from the military, and the fact that he can see me change my eating habits, change my movement, getting enough water. He's seeing my tumbler everywhere. I'm telling him, okay, I'm on my third bottle, I'm on my third. And he's like, okay. So he's asking me, how can I improve my protein?
Right.
I don't want to lose muscle when I, get older. My father in law, he was actually sitting down. Talking labels of all the snacks that we get at home, like the packaged food. How the macros play so much of a role. So I think the biggest self-respect thing for me is that these people who I look up to, like my
Right.
father-in-law and my father, they are coming to me to
Wow.
talk about all of this. And in my life, I would have never imagined looking at labels. I couldn't care less. I ate Lays, like full packet in one go. Now I look at labels, I look at if it's the nutrient information
Mm-hmm.
makes sense to me or not. I am looking at that. And that's a change. And I am proud of my that win. And I'm proud of the fact that these people are accommodating all of these things and not forcing me. And that boundary I set from day one. And my luckily touchwood, my husband has been very, very like supportive of that. Yeah.
And before I jump in, Harjarene, can you go to she is Tamika at 527? I want to go to hers and then one others.
Okay, hold on. Look, I got on glasses and I still got to get up here.
You should have seen me last night. One, I couldn't find a pair of glasses, so then I had to figure out where my second pair. It was a mess.
Right here?
Yes. So enjoy life and stop being so hard on myself when I mess up. And I think that's an important sort of
Yep.
life reality to live
Yes.
under.
Yes,
Um,
like I said, like
yeah,
we need to get out of our head a little
right,
bit, live life. If you
right,
are going for that road trip, carry your protein bars, carry your water, carry everything. And even if you're not, like just enjoy.
all right,
One day is not going to ruin your 3 months, 6 months, 1 year journey. It's not going to ruin it. You can
exactly,
always go back in a deficit. You can count your like whatever macros you're focusing on, whatever you are doing. One day is not going to do anything. 2 days is not going to do anything. 1 week is not going to do anything. It's a lifestyle reset. That's what we all talk about, right? It's
all right,
not it's not a temporary fix. We are looking to change these habits from inside out.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because this is just
that's
it's part one of a bigger. This is the prequel to a bigger story, right? It's the
Right.
rest of again.
yep,
I call maintenance the rest of my. There's a like, and I know we've talked about this before, or I've said this before. Maintenance is the goal
yep,
because it's the rest of our lives, and so
exactly.
so there's going to be situations and realities, and maybe that's why I don't set like, is there a goal weight goal? Sure, but there's not this timeline because when I get to it, and then it's sort of but then I'm not ending some of the practices I'm doing as a result of that. So I mean, do I get one extra something on my plate? Maybe if I can eat it, or if I want it, right? If I want it.
Yeah.
And then at 5:28, Bellflower. If we want to highlight her comment real quick.
Okay.
Like I really love the fact that Joe celebrated one of her scale wins by eating a donut.
Yes.
She was craving donuts and she did it live.
Yeah.
Don't like stop living life because you're going to have something. Like food is not the enemy. There are no bad foods. You just have to be figure out your own moderation, figure out your own portions, figure out what works for me and what are your allergens, what are you
Right.
responding better to. All of this is what you should be focusing on rather than the scale, and rather than getting the numbers down every week and
Right.
just getting there and not really improving anything about your relationship with food or anything else. I think people should really focus on
Right.
healing from within.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So let's do a few more questions. And then, yeah, Bellflower, I've learned that boundaries are another form of self-care. Thus, boundary are, if it doesn't align with them, what I have going on, I'm not entertaining. And that's a good one. And
Right.
I think probably, and I've shared it before in a live, not ours, but it goes back. So it's the restaurant thing, or feeling pressured to eat something that you don't. So when I go to like first I've already asked, what restaurant are we going to, and then I check the menu. Are there things on here I can eat? And
Yeah.
for me it's not even, oh, I can have a few things. There are just things that my stomach is not going to enjoy, or like I just have no desire. So I'm not going to go into a restaurant while, everybody else is eating. I'm just hanging out there just for companionship. Right. So I do get picky about, okay, what restaurant we're going to make sure that, and it's also to make sure there's a selection for everybody there. Cause I know I go to places with people that may have food allergies and things like that. And so we need to make sure it's a place that everybody can enjoy it and have an option. And then even once I get there, I pick the things I want, and I request, even before the entree comes out, I request a to-go bag. It's like, I'm splitting this up, and there's not a there's not this. It's no longer putting this sort of, oh, I don't want people to worry if I ask for this. It's like, no, just I'm going to request it and move on, right?
Yeah.
And then, so perfect. So did
Yes,
we want
Cindy.
to go over doses? This
Oh,
comment, Harjarene?
can I just quickly add something?
Correct.
Yes, jump in.
So again, on the Saturday, it was lovely.
Yes.
It was lovely to be at the baby shower, and they'd done a gluten-free menu for many of us are gluten-free, and of course I'm one. So what I did was my mate helped me get it because I'm still using the stick. But I held the plate and she put all the things on that I asked her to put on. So I had like a gluten-free burger. I had a tiny bit of gluten-free flatbread. But then we put on a huge amount of the pigs in blankets and the chorizo sausage. And, a lot of things I was doing as well. I was getting like the like the cress and the microgreens that are as garnish. And I was getting those so that when I did go back to eat, I left the bread and ate all the things that was inside the bread, and no one would have thought for a moment. But then, as I say, no one was asking, because people don't actually ask. I think we put too much onus on thinking that people might be funny with us because we're choosing to leave something or not.
Right.
But most people don't ask. You know, you can say, you just, I'm full. You know, if they ask, then you tell them about the fact that it's for your health.
Right.
But most people didn't ask at all the fact that I'd left all the bread.
Right. And I think it's less of a stigma to leave the bread. I mean, as much as I know we've talked about our Italy trip, and it's like I'm already thinking of all the focaccia.
Yeah, I don't have to have bread.
Mm.
Not have to have bread.
Oh, but Harjarene, you've not had Italian bread, and
No,
you've
that's
not,
true.
you've not,
That's true.
you've not,
That's true. You might change my mind.
you don't know. You
But
don't know.
none of this
But they
bread
eat
comes
differently. They eat differently, and then there's a passiata, and then we'll walk around for hours, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
You get the bread and we walk
Harjarene has
around.
just set her boundaries. Harjarene said she does not need bread. Do
Yeah.
not try and talk her into having the bread.
Oh, I'm giving her bread. We're having some bread. We're having some. We're having
I
some
gotta
bread.
try to eat any bread.
It's like if I go to France, I'm having some cheese. So even if
Yeah.
I don't want,
You can have all the cheese and bread you want. You don't have to you don't push it onto your peers.
right? Hey, Auntie Mama. Hey, low carb queen. So doses. I'd like so doses. I'm gonna ask you if you can do. I know. I would love for you to do a vlog or live on this topic here. Set boundaries around my time, and I think even Life with Elaine, is that the right channel? Life with Elaine even talked about sort of, setting time this morning and stuff like that. And so
Real life with Elaine.
Real Life with Elaine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that correction. Mostly in regard to getting my workout. I won't let others get this. Oh, this is so important. So yeah, any
Yep.
content creators that and doses, if you wanted, if I think this would be a wonderful, wonderful vlog to do around about the importance of setting boundaries around time. This is key, right? Of all, everybody, quick second, everybody think of what they do in the day. How much of that is for you? If you were to set your from when you wake up to when you lie your head down to
Me
bed,
drinking my waters for me.
yeah, what percentage of time is for you? That would be yeah.
I
Yeah.
get quite a bit of time. Since all the kids are in school now, so I get a
That's
little
good.
time for me.
That's good. Yeah. That is perfect.
But then that's it. After that, that's it.
Right. Then they show up, right?
Then they show up. It's over.
Oh goodness. Okay, so this will probably be our last question of the evening, and then we'll see if there's things in the chat and stuff. Have you noticed, or you can say even have you and when, if you want to add the word when to it, have you noticed a shift in how you speak to yourself? Is it more kindness, more, or
I am way
Yeah.
more kinder to myself. Just using the Snicker example, I said it's not gonna hurt you. Go get it over with, get it out your system. It's not gonna hurt you. Tomorrow, like Himani said, tomorrow just do something better with miss out on something or change that. So that I didn't put my weight in today. I did go up though. I weighed in at 185 today, and I was 184.4. So I did go up 0.8. I went up 0.8. So I'm gonna blame it on the Snicker. Yeah, we're gonna blame it on the Snicker.
no, stop. What did you reflect on this last week? I don't think it's a Snicker. What did you comment that?
The sparkle ice.
No, even before that, when we were talking earlier, you mentioned you hadn't done as much as this week.
I did not. You're right. I did not exercise. You're so right.
Yep.
You're
Don't
right.
blame the Snickers.
That's right. I'm not gonna blame Snickers. It was me. It's all me. Didn't exercise, but I got on that elliptical today though.
There you go. There you go. What about you, Himani?
Yeah,
Oh, no
I'm
worries.
definitely kinder, and that is also because of the community and you all. Like, you keep me. I would say you give me the hype. You hype me up so much, and even the comments and the engagement from this community. I actually look forward to being more myself, like I was before the weight and the issues happened. Like, at a personal front, I'm also a food content creator, and I used to go for these restaurant reviews, and and travel staycation reviews, hotel reviews, and all of this used to make me feel alive. And now I feel alive in the fact that, okay, I can see a little bit of collarbone, I can see a little bit of jawline, and all of these things. My skin is clearer, and I'm less fatigued. All of these things. So I am giving myself grace, and every day, like I said, gratitude and grace is something I've been practicing. I'm a big believer of manifestation, and I genuinely feel that this community has really made me more kind to myself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I would agree. I think just in the last few years, whether it's just sort of the community here, the community of my family, things like that,
Yeah.
of just having that using different language when discussing
Yeah.
yourself. Even
Yeah.
how I talk about, there was a shift, and this was pre-Zepbound or anything like that, but even the shift in how I talk about being a type 1 diabetic. I mean, there are times that real anger towards towards diabetes in general, right? I mean, anger, that it's a thing, right? And then even in like when I talked about before about, days I would get up, want to work out, and my blood sugar's too low to work out. Just this, it's like, why even try? Like, why either that attitude, right? And so I think it's probably been, I wouldn't even say it's been more than a year. I mean, it's a new sort of way that I've been thinking about this disease, as far as, this is just something I have to manage. It's
Yeah.
at the end of the day, control the controllables, all the things, right? It's just something that I have to, manage. And I have a great diabetic care team. My when you have primary care and your endocrinologist fighting more on your behalf than yourself,
Yeah.
that you've got to listen, right? You've got to listen. And then again, just trying to find new words, even if it's a silly exercise, but new words to describe things, so you don't get caught up in the weight of words. I know there's that debate around like slow and fast respond. It's like, how about we just be responders? I respond to it. I'm responding to the drug.
Right.
Yep.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So, but we humans, we like dichotomies. But anyway, we like being able to choose between 1 and 2.
Yeah, she's going to France, and she's going to bring all the butter.
I agree with her. Bring that, like, they know what they're doing over there. They're making stuff from scratch, which reduces the impact of the glucose and the gluten in bread. I mean, I'm not saying gluten is there, but there's magic in these hands when you make your own pasta and bread.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Serenity Prayer.
I love
that hangs on the door of my office, because
I have it everywhere. That's my prayer.
It's a good prayer to have. So so as we wrap up, I know if for those in the community, the GLP-1 community, Simply Taisha will be on, I believe, at the top of the hour, and then Anchor Moments is on later this evening. I saw Lori in the chat. Lori did her interview with our very own Felicia Marie B. What came out this morning, I believe.
Watch that one.
Who else is? Let's see.
I would also like to just point out that
yes, Joe.
there's 38 people watching. Many of them are content creators.
Yes.
So whichever channel you're on now, make sure you drop that hashtag to share your channel links. And then what we'll also try and do as a group of us is we'll get all of the hashtags that have been shared and put those in the video descriptions on each of our channels. So if you haven't had a chance to click on any of the connection links, then just go to any one of the channels, and all of the channels that will be shared, all their links will be put in the video description. I'll make sure I could do that one once I get well midweek.
Okay.
So we'll have that. because remember, it is a connect and grow, cross-pollination. Let's learn from more people from different communities, and let's share.
Yeah.
I can't think what I was trying to say.
Let's share. I think you said it. I think let's share. And then and again, for those content creators, you know, they I know there's more than one thing you have to meet for monetization, but you know, they've reduced the subscriber number from 1,000 to 500. So if you're close to that number, make sure you're connecting with some of these connect and grow communities, whether it's Kindy K All Day or Tuber Chat or The Source. There are people or channels out there that are 100% behind supporting small content creators. And when I say support, they however many TVs they have in the house, they're running people's playlists. And so, but you've got to make those connections with them. You've got to make sure you're connecting. So whether it's Kindy K All Day, The Source, and then Tuber Chat, and then Are You Locked In, Chip and everything. But there's some great communities out there that support Connect and Grow, and their supporters, they go out in armies and basically support people. So make
I
sure
think
you're doing
Vicky,
the same for them too.
I think Vicky from Foodie Vacations also, like, they
And
have
yes, Vicky from Foodie's Vacation, 100%.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I put it there for you.
Okay, we are connecting, Miss Laugh a Lot. We are connecting. I knew
Jen's trying to find one.
Like Christmas came early for her.
Oh my
Nikki
goodness.
from Miss Laugh a Lot. But
Yeah.
Nikki, can I introduce you to Jen now, JC?
Oh my heart. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't. Oh gosh. Okay, calm
We hit
down.
the
Okay.
jackpot on this one.
I've got to calm down. Okay, we're connecting, Miss Laugh a Lot. So yeah, perfect. Okay, so as we sort of round out the evening, thank y'all, everyone in the chat.
Yes, thank
But I
you.
want to
Thank you.
hear,
Thank you.
yeah, I want to hear from each of us. And Joe, if you can participate in this one, if you're feeling okay. What is one last message you would like to give before we close out tonight? And we'll start with Harjarene, Himani, Joe, and then actually I want to end it with Harjarene because I think people like it when we end with you. So
Yes.
She's the best motivation.
she's the best one. So we're ending with you, Harjarene.
Okay,
So
okay.
so we'll do Himani, Joe, myself, and then we'll end with you, Harjarene. But what's one last message you would like to give before you go?
Yeah, so since like this theme is all about beyond the scale, I would actually request, if you are experiencing, doubts about your journey or yourself, just be more like kinder to yourself. Give yourself some grace, cut yourself some slack. It's okay. You will reach there. It may take some time. Don't compare. Please don't compare. That is the one golden rule I learned since day one. We tend to compare, and that's human nature, but then that is the biggest enemy. Like, I feel we get into our heads. So please just be kinder. Have faith. This thing works. Your body can do wonders. Like, we can give birth, we can do so much with our bodies, right? Just give yourself some grace, be kind, and you will get there. We are all in this together, and we definitely work better together. And you can always reach out to any of us for the kind of support that I think this community is very welcoming. So just reach out to us. And I wish nothing but the best of health, and be it mental or physical, whatever, like, you are focusing on. And I just wish that God blesses you with the best of health to everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So Joe, what do you got for us?
Well, I'd like to remind us all that we're not Flavor Flav. We're not walking around with our bathroom scales on our chain in front of us, where people can see exactly what it is that we weigh. What people see is how healthier we're looking, how much we're glowing, how much lighter and brighter we feel. And it's got nothing to do with the scales. So don't give the scales that power over you. We've got this journey. We're on the journey together. We're all going to get to maintenance, and we're all going to have healthier lives from the fact all the things that we're doing. So don't worry about those scales, please.
And I'll just sort of add to that, find those things, those joys, hobbies, whether they're old hobbies, anew again. Like I said, I brought out my compound bow because that's it's a memory that it's one of the gifts my husband gave me when we were first dating, but you need a lot of strength to use that bow, upper body, or if it's new things, find new joys, new hobbies, new activities that you can just truly thrive in, because it's going to be in those things that the desires you want for health will come to fruition. So yeah. Hard.
And I just want to thank everyone. I want to let everyone know that I love you so much, each and every one of you. You mean everything to me. And I want to give a shout out to Amy Mama. I get up early in the morning, but I can count on her waking up and making me laugh to get me even more energized for the day. So I want to give a shout out to her for doing what she do, making it do what it do. And she be rhyming, y'all. She rhyme with everything that she say. I'm like, you missed your calling, lady. You missed your calling. But I just want to let you all know that I love you very much. You all mean so much to me. If you don't believe me, just ask my family, because they bring y'all up all the time. They don't say your names like this. How your YouTube people doing? Oh, you online with your YouTube people?
Right.
It'd be so funny. But I just want to let y'all know that I love you, and I hope you all have a great evening.
We love you too, Harjarene.
We love you. We love you.
Much love. Much love.
Perfect.
Are we going to
have a great night?
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.